Hey, Twinny. I've got some incredibly exciting news.
Well, the only time you ever text is when you have news to share or you need money. What is it this time around?
LOL. You don't have to be that way. So, do you want to hear what I have to share or not?
All right. What's the big news? It must be something pretty thrilling, judging by your out of the blue message.
You won't believe what I'm about to reveal.
Sasha, spill the beans already.
I'm going to be a journalist for a fashion magazine. Isn't that fantastic? Oh, I'm absolutely thrilled.
That's incredible. Landing a position like that is an incredibly challenging accomplishment. You've always aspired to be a part of the fashion industry, so this must be exhilarating for you. How did you manage to secure the job?
Well, it's actually quite an amusing tale. I stumbled upon an online job posting for it. It was cleverly tucked away on one of the fashion magazine's websites. So I decided to take a chance and apply.
That's fantastic. You know what they say, you'll never achieve something if you don't give it your all.
Absolutely. Although I have to admit, the application process wasn't a walk in the park. The form was intricate and filled with dense, jargon-heavy language. There were numerous terms I struggled to comprehend. Not to mention, they required an extensive portfolio to ensure they chose the right candidate for the role. I honestly felt like my head might explode from all the effort it took to complete that application.
Wait a minute. You don't have any experience in fashion magazine writing, and you don't have any previous work or a portfolio. How did you even apply for the job?
Well, let's just say I have my methods.
You mean you used someone else's work and presented it as your own?
You're making it sound so much less glamorous than how I explained it. It's not like I'm some terrible criminal.
Well, if you're using someone else's work to try and secure a job, then it's not the most ethical approach.
What's the big deal? The work passed their scrutiny. They should be pleased that a prestigious fashion magazine appreciated their work enough to advance it to the in-person interview stage. It's a compliment, really. If anything, they should be grateful that I chose to showcase their work. Otherwise, they might have gone unnoticed.
But it's not your work. Doesn't it bother you to use someone else's efforts and claim them as your own?
Why not? If they didn't seize the opportunity, I believe it's fair game.
How do you plan to perform the job, though? Without prior experience in writing for a magazine like that, or any background in the fast-paced fashion industry.
Oh, I'm sure it won't be that difficult. I mean, it's just expressing my opinions about clothing. It's not exactly rocket science.
Your tone suggests you're not particularly enthusiastic about the job.
Well, it's not like I'm over the moon about it. It's still work after all.
So what's getting you so excited then?
Seriously? Can't you guess? The fashion. I'll have access to amazing discounts on top brands. I'll be the envy of everyone because I'll look like $1,000,000.
Ah, I see.
I don't think you fully grasp the kind of clothing I'll have access to. Louis Vuitton, Dior, Gucci, it'll all be within reach.
Well, that's fantastic for you.
Listen, just because you prefer a more understated style or occasionally shop from thrift stores doesn't mean the rest of us are wrong for aspiring to something more upscale. Not all of us want to give the impression that we don't care about our appearance.
Hold on a second. What are you implying? I do care about how I look. Wearing designer labels every day doesn't define one's sense of style or grooming. Plus, charity shops can be treasure troves for designer brands. You'd be surprised at what people donate. Classic Gucci pieces and more. Maybe they're not the latest trends, but they often have timeless appeal, offering a touch of elegance and a superior fit.
Let's face it, you have a different fashion sense. You might prefer a pair of well-worn jeans and an old sweater over a sophisticated dress or skirt and blouse ensemble. Hilarious, isn't it?
What's going on? Why are you being so harsh? I wasn't criticizing your new job opportunity. I was just asking how you plan to handle it.
No, you were attempting to belittle me and my new job. It's clear that you can't handle the fact that I'm making strides in my life. And you're envious because I'm finally pursuing a career, unlike you.
What are you implying?
It's pretty straightforward. You spend most of your days lounging around at mom and dad's place, consuming their resources, eating their food, and using their utilities. When are you going to stop being unemployed and actually get a job?
I'm not a failure. I've been working diligently on a project that I believe will open up better opportunities for me.
Oh, your little writing project. It's a total waste of time, and everyone knows it. You probably spend your days in your room, possibly napping or playing games, pretending to write and work on a book or something equally unimportant. Even if you manage to finish it, I doubt anyone will want to read it. I'm willing to bet it's dreadfully dull.
What's actually dreadful is the way you make assumptions about something you know nothing about.
Here is the best advice you will ever get. Re-enter the job market and seek a more stable position instead of spending your days scribbling in that notebook. It's not benefiting anyone, and it's not putting money in your pocket. Consider working in a grocery store or something to start earning a living. It's rather disheartening to see you invest so much time in something that may never pay off, unlike my promising new job opportunity.
Well, you haven't actually secured the job yet. You've only progressed to the in-person interview. It's not guaranteed that you will be hired or anything.
At least I'm exploring new opportunities and enjoying life. It's not my fault if you're envious of my achievement while you feel stuck.
Are you done with your lecture? I've had to endure this every day for the past few months, and it's getting repetitive.
I'm just being honest. If you don't appreciate the truth, maybe it's time to make a change.
Whatever.
I'm just looking out for you. Sooner or later, mom and dad might grow weary of you being around and decide to ask you to leave. I'm just trying to ensure you're prepared when it happens. Nobody wants to live with an idle, unemployed individual.
Did mom or dad tell you that they feel this way?
Well, mom has dropped hints, and I wouldn't be surprised if she directly addresses it soon and asks you to move out.
Right. I see. How about you focus on preparing for your interview instead of spreading falsehoods to frighten me?
Don't say I didn't warn you.
Hi, Mom.
Holly, is everything okay? You don't usually text me like this.
Well, not really. Are you planning on asking me to leave the house?
Oh, you found out about that. Did Sasha mention it?
Is it true?
Come on, sweetie. You're 24 now. It's time for you to consider moving out and finding your own place. You can't live with your dad and me indefinitely, can you? I'm sure you like your own space, right? It's not much fun living with your parents as a young adult. You probably want your own place to host friends and such, and that's not really feasible here.
So you're trying to make it sound like you are doing me a favor. But is Sasha also leaving the house?
Well, no. She's staying for the time being. She needs a stable place to live while she pursues her new job.
She's going to take over my room, right?
We're planning to convert it into a writing room for her. She needs a dedicated space to work.
Seriously? You're kicking me out so you can turn my room into an office for Sasha? Can't you see how unfair that is? I get that she's your favorite, but this just doesn't seem right. I don't have a place to go.
I'm sure you'll find a solution. You're a clever young woman, after all. But I do believe it's best if you move out by the end of the month.
What? That's so soon.
Sooner is better. It will give you a sense of independence. Besides, if Sasha secures her job, she'll need a workspace immediately. So we need to prepare it for her.
But Mom!
I'll help you search for a new place later. Right now, I have to meet with Sasha and discuss her fashion job. We'll talk later.
Mom mentioned she talked to you earlier about the whole moving out situation. I did say they'd want you to leave soon.
They only wanted me out because of you, right? This was your idea, wasn't it?
Well, I might have nudged them in that direction.
Nudged them? They're kicking me out, and I have no place to go.
You'll find a solution. Plus, it's clear Mom wants to provide me with every opportunity to succeed in my chosen career, given my promising prospects. So please ensure you moved out by this weekend, alright? I need my office ready when I secure my new job, and my interview is next week, leaving limited time for the preparations.
Whoa, hold on a minute. I can't agree to that. I'm not going to be left without a place to stay. I'll talk to Mom and address this.
Fine, but don't say I didn't caution you.
Holly, we discussed this. You need to move out.
Mom, what are you talking about?
Sasha informed me that you don't want to move out. We've discussed this. You must vacate your room to create an office space.
Mom, if you make me leave, I'll literally have no place to go.
I understand it's difficult, but there's nothing more I can do. You'll need to find another place to stay.
Mom!
No, that's my final decision, and I don't want to discuss it further.
Fine. Well, you win, Sasha. I hope it was worth it. My room will be empty by tomorrow.
Glad you've realized your place. Maybe now you'll find some motivation to be productive.
Actually, just so you know, all this time when you thought I was just lazing around and scribbling in my notebook, I was working on a story. I've written a full-fledged book, and earlier today, I had a meeting with high-level executives from some major publishing companies. They're eager to publish my book, and some have even likened it to the next Harry Potter. It's incredible, really. They've offered me a substantial upfront payment and royalties once it starts selling. They believe it's going to be a massive success and generate significant revenue.
What? That's impossible.
LOL, you better believe. Oh, and just a heads up, I know you used my work for your magazine interview. I figured that I would be your best bet for getting hired. The only catch is that I've embedded hidden markers within my work to confirm that you didn't write it.
What are you talking about?
Well, because you used to copy my homework during high school, I got into the habit of inserting notes in certain paragraphs, making it clear that they were not your own. These notes often conclude with me stating that I was the original author and that your version was a copy. If you've used one of my pieces, it will undeniably bear my personal signature.
Oh my goodness, I can't believe you did that. Now I've probably blown my chances of getting the job.
Well, maybe you should have tried using your own work instead of resorting to plagiarism. It's too late for you now, but it's a valuable lesson for the future.
Seriously, Holly? You owe me a share of the money from your book. It's the least you can do after sabotaging my only opportunity in the fashion industry.
I didn't sabotage anything. You're the one who used stolen work. How did you plan to write the actual articles? Get someone else to do it for you? That's not a sustainable approach.
I would have figured something out. I would have learned while on the job.
I really doubt that would have worked.
Just because you've written a book doesn't make you a writing expert. I could have done that just as well.
If that's the case, why don't you try writing your own book and see how easy it is? Anyway, now that I have a substantial amount of money, I can finally afford to buy my own place to live. I won't have to tolerate your presence or Mom's favoritism any longer.
Well, at least consider letting me move in with you.
LOL, no chance. You can stay at Mom's place. Besides, you've got my old bedroom now. Why would you want to leave it so soon?
I was just thinking that...
Exactly. Anyway, I've got to run now. I have some important meetings to attend. See ya.
Holly, wait! I really need you. There is a good chance I will get fired soon. Do you think you can lend me some money?
Not anymore. I have always put everyone first before myself. I have done so much for you, but all you do is stab me in the back.
We can start all over again. We can mend our relationship.
Too late for that. Bye, twin sis. I swiftly moved out of my parents' house and into my very own apartment, thanks to the money I earned from the book. My book went on to become the bestseller of the year. However, things didn't turn out so great for Sasha, Mom, and Dad. Sasha got fired a few weeks after she started her job, since she wasn't qualified in the first place. She ended up relying on Mom and Dad, until they became fed up and demanded she contribute to household expenses. Sasha was compelled to find work at a local supermarket, earning minimum wage. My parents tried reaching out to me, but after how they treated me, I wasn't too eager to engage with them. Sometimes, in life, you have to remove toxic individuals, even if they're family, to foster growth. It can be challenging, but it's often for the better. To lead a fulfilling life with good mental health, you need a supportive and positive support system.